Hi friends, Candace Gillespie here with Candace's Canvases. Thanks so much for joining me today. I am going to show you my second take on the Simon Says Stamp Ornate background. If you haven't already, head on over to Facebook and search my group, Crafters Anonymous by Candace's Canvases, and join us and share on there your projects. Also, my social media links will be listed below in the description bar. As well as my address. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe and click on that bell so you will be alerted when I post new videos. So I started with an 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock, and I cut it down in fours to 5.5 by 4.25, and I used my embossing powder tool, and I put it all over this card front, and then I'm using the Tonic Studio stamp press. No, it's not the Misty, and I would love a Misty, but I just, as a mama of small children, I couldn't justify spending the money on a Misty when I could get this one. So anyway, I got this one, and okay, so I stamped that a couple times, and let me tell you, life is a lot better as a stamper, card maker, whatever, with the stamp positioning tool, like some kind of stamp press. So I recommend you getting one if you don't already have one. Any one that suits your fancy. So I just dusted this with pewter embossing powder. Yes, that's baby Jacob. And I am using my heat tool now to melt that down. And because there is a lot of detail, that takes a little bit. This is sped up 4 times, so just taking my time, making sure I get every little bit of embossing powder nice and melted. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to bring in some distress inks. I have tumbled glass, broken china, and faded jeans. I'm using this ink blending tool. Just got a bunch of little, I got the tool and another pack of pads on Amazon. Pretty good deal. I'll put a link below for you. And then I'm going to just make like, I'm gonna, what is it called when it fades? It is called, it's not coming to me, this mom brain, I tell you, with every kid, a little bit leaves, a little more leaves. Anyway, I'm going from lightest to darkest, and then you'll see I'll go and give it another go. And it's not very dramatic, and you could make it dramatic if you wanted to. You don't have to. I kind of wanted it to be more subtle. I wanted the focal point really to be the image. It's just such a gorgeous stamp, and I say it every time, but Connie Hinkle, thank you so much for sending this to me. It is gorgeous. So I'm giving it one more go with each color, making sure it's nice and saturated. And then buffing out the ink off of the embossing, and then I'm using this Mr. bottle here that my friend Connie also sent me. She sent me the funnest package. I'm just such a lucky girl anyway to have her. She was very kind in sending me a bunch of goodies. So this is a stamp set that I bought from Michael's. I cannot remember the name of the stamp set. It may have been a Recollections brand, which I think is the Michael's brand, right? Let me know in the description below. Anyway, so I mount the stamp, and then I cut my card base. When I'm cutting a normal A2 size card, what is that? 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And then I trimmed down my embossed image there. I'm layering this kind of, what is it, like a darker teal-y color. And then I'm putting my panel right on top. And here I'm thinking, oh man, that really blends into that background sheet, and I'm thinking, okay, it might grow on me, we'll see. So I just continue on. I cut an inside panel. This one is 1/4 of an inch shorter, and then I cut the white part of the inside another 1/4 of an inch shorter. This was a scrap piece. I tested out the stamp on there. And I glue that together using VersaFine Onyx Black ink, quickly becoming one of my favorites. Jacob agrees. Baby Jacob agrees. It's our favorite. I do a little test stamp on a scrap piece of paper, and then just to make sure it stamps good. And look at how gorgeous. Onyx Black ink from Versamark. You make me a better stamper. And then I stamp it down, or glue it down. I'm still thinking, oh, that kind of blends in a little bit, but you know, it doesn't look horrible. You can be done with it. At this point, I decided I wanted to add something, just a little something. So I got my seam binding ribbon. This is a huge roll. I dye it. Whatever color I want it to be, I use ink and I dye it. And I'm a huge fan of seam binding ribbon. Use my tweezers here to hold that, and then I tie a little fun bow here, making it perfect. Then I trim it down, adjust it, you know, all those perfection things. Glue it down in the middle here. Then I use my scissors to trim the little tails. And I think, oh, I'm going to burn this. And you know, you kind of burn it. Oops, don't do that because it caught on fire. So I'd snip off the charred edge. And I think, okay, I'm done. This is the finished card. And I put my little signature on the back of it. This is the next morning. I slept on it. I came back. I looked at it and decided, no, I can't. It's not okay. I need to put some kind of border. So, and I didn't like how the ribbon, I should have added the ribbon to the panel before I glued it down. So here I'm measuring the length of my panel on the scrap piece of black cardstock, and I am going to cut little tiny 1/8 of an inch pieces here. I'm going to cut 4 of them, 2 for the length, 2 for the width, and I am going to put the tiniest border, black border around. Oh my, see, baby Jacob is the mama's boy, so if he's not on my lap, he's having problems. So here it is, gluing it down, taking my time to get it as perfect as I can. I love these fine liner bottles. I will put the link to this 2-ounce fine liner bottle down below, as well as the PVA glue that I use. And the fine liner bottle, it really has changed my gluing life, because it actually helps preserve, or you know, make your glue last longer, because you know, you're not like gluing a bunch and then you don't have a ton of waste, and it's been awesome. I love it. And I just put a little stick pin in the top, a longer stick pin, and it's perfect. So I recommend them, definitely. Now brace yourself. It's about to get ugly. I'm about to do some card surgery, so if you're squeamish, look away. If not, let's continue. So here I'm going to peel back the 2 layers back to the very basic base of the card. It's not going as easy as I thought, but I'm still going for it. Sticking my scissors under. My thought is, yes, and Jacob's thought is that I'm gonna just peel back enough to glue this ribbon under the card base. Why did I leave this in here? Well, because we all make mistakes, and this is how I fix it. Let me know if you have a more brilliant way to fix it. Otherwise, this is my tip for you. I don't know. That's anyway, just trying to glue it all back together and without it being super obvious. And I don't mind that. I mean, it looks totally fine. It worked, so I'm happy with it. And one last thing is I open it up and I take a Sharpie fine tip marker and I just kind of mimic the black border that I added to the card front. I mimic that on the inside. using a ruler and my fine tipped Sharpie marker, and I'm just putting a black line, and that sums up this card. Thank you guys so much for being a part of my life and my day. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you have been inspired up above all else. Make sure to visit our Facebook page, Crafters Anonymous by Candace's Canvases, and don't be shy, post your projects. It's my goal to make that a fun, active page. Oh, in this picture I also added some glossy accents as some little dots there. So you guys take care, and we will talk soon. Bye.